Hello students, how are you all? Welcome to online classes. In our last session, we have completed reactivity of 14 group elements towards oxygen, halogens, water, acids, bases, reducing property, reducing character, stabilities, everything we have discussed. In this session, I am going to discuss the anomalous properties of a first element, that is carbon. In every group, the first element is very small and high ionization enthalpy, more electronegativity. Due to these four reasons, the first element will exhibit unique properties, nothing but anomalous properties. As you know that carbon catenation capacity is more than that of other elements because of the bond dissociation enthalpy of carbon-carbon bond is more than that of other atoms bond length. Next, carbon shows maximum only 4 bonds, but other elements in this group will show more than 4 bonds. Next, after that, catenation capacity of carbon is very high when compared with other elements in the group. And carbon forms many allotropic modifications when compared with other all elements. Carbon forms multiple bonds, nothing but C double bond C, C triple bond C, multiple bond with other carbon, oxygen and sulfur also, because of its small size and easy overlapping, lateral overlapping of orbitals. Because of that reason, it shows only which bonds, pi bonds, but not other elements. So carbon shows maximum possibility to exhibit which one, pi bond formation. So these are all theoretical points. I'll write on the board, you just note down. Yes, students, I have written anomalous properties of carbon. What I told you, those are all I have written. Because these are all theoretical points, that's why I am telling like this. So, maximum covalency 4, remaining will be 5, 6 also. Next, it shows high catenation capacity when compared with other elements. Next, it is due to the high bond energy. Next, carbon forms multiple bonds. These are 1, 2, 3 maximum. 3 anomalous properties. Allotropy of carbon. Carbon can show many types of allotropes, means different forms. So, reason is it is due to the difference in structure. Otherwise, arrangement of atoms are different in different compounds. That's why we will get different forms of carbon. Crystalline allotropes, amorphous allotropes. Crystalline allotropes are diamond, graphite, fullerenes. These are crystalline, very hard. And amorphous, powder-like allotropes are coal, wood charcoal. After burning wood, so you get a black color substance that is called charcoal, wood charcoal, animal charcoal, petroleum coal. From petroleum products, after extraction of petrol, the impure component is available, that is in a black color named as petroleum coal. Sugar charcoal, in sugar industry, after burning the sugar, the left content is purely carbon, so that is also sugar charcoal. These are all allotropes of which one? Carbon. In our syllabus, the given are diamond, graphite, fullerenes given. We discuss. First one is diamond. As you studied, diamond it is a crystalline allotropic form. Hard, diamond is very hard. 3-dimensional network structure. Each carbon atom undergoes sp3 hybridization. sp3 means 4 bonds must. It means each carbon surrounded by 4 bonds tetrahedrally. Shape is tetrahedral. Each carbon is connected by other 4 carbon atoms in a tetrahedral manner. Diamond is hard because all the valence electrons involved in bonding. So 4 bonds are surrounded by very tight bonds. So that's why diamond is very hard. So next, diamond glitters when light falls on that because of high refractive index. Diamond is inert because of strong bonds. Hard unreactive, less reactive, nothing but. Even then it can react with a very few compounds. Diamond is hard, that's why it is used to cut other components. So these are all points we need to write. That's why I am writing all these points. Crystalline structure, three-dimensional network structure, sp3 hybridization, each and every carbon surrounded by other 4 carbon atoms in a tetrahedral manner. Diamond is hard, diamond is non-conductor because of no unpaired electron. All the 4 valence electrons, because it is a 14th group element, carbon. All the electrons involved in hybridization, sp3 hybridization. We'll write all these points one by one now. Okay students, so the first crystalline allotrope is diamond. As I told you, points. So the same points I have written on the board. First one is a diamond is a crystalline structure. Each carbon atom undergoes sp2 hybridization, sp3 hybridization. 2s2, 2p2 is the ground state electronic configuration of diamond. This electron jump from s to p, then s1, p1, p2, p3. Then finally 1, 2, 3, 4. 1s and 3p involved in hybridization. Then forms 4 sp3 hybrid orbital that leads to 4 bond. Each and every carbon surrounded by other 4 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you observe this carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4. Totally 4 carbon atoms. Same point. After bonding, these electrons will be paired with no unpaired electron. That's why it is a non-conductor of electricity. Diamond is hard because of each carbon surrounded by 4 other carbons tightly. Next, it is a 3-dimensional network structure. All covalent bonds are directional in nature in a tetrahedral manner. The boiling bond angle will be 109.5 degrees. Melting point is 4200 degrees Celsius. Density will be 3.5 grams per 1 cubic centimeter, that is equal to 1 milliliter. So diamond glitters, it shines because of high refractive index. So the quality of diamond is expressed in carats. 1 carat equal to 0.2 grams, otherwise 200 milligrams. Important, remember. Kohinoor diamond is equal to 186 carats. It is nothing but 186 into 0.2 grams. Pitt diamond equal to 136.25 carats. Diamond is inert because of high bond dissociation energy, and up to 15 degrees Celsius it is stable in vacuum. After 1500 degrees Celsius to 2000, so it's slightly converted into which one? Graphite, based on changing the arrangement of carbon atoms in the which one? Diamond, it converted into graphite. Next, enthalpy of formation of diamond. During the formation of a diamond, something amount of energy is released. That energy equal to 1.9 kilojoules per mole. Next, diamond can react with oxygen and others, but at very high temperature it is very difficult task. That's why, so high temperature, carbon dioxide, and with more electronegative elements only it can react, because more reactive elements these two are, that's why. So these are the points. Diamond is used in jewelry to cut other items. It means to sharp the knives, etc. Impure diamonds are used to sharp knives, etc. Right? These are all uses of diamond. The next allotropic modification of carbon is graphite. It is the second crystalline allotropic modification of carbon is graphite. Reverse points. So graphite, each and every carbon atom undergoes sp2, only sp2. This electron never involved in hybridization. That electron is migrating from one place to another place. Migration of electrons nothing but current. It means graphite is, diamond is non-conductor. Graphite is good conductor. Diamond undergoes sp3. Graphite undergoes sp2 hybridization. Diamond is hard. Graphite is soft. Diamond is a 3-dimensional network structure. Graphite is hexagonal rings arranged in layers. layered structure. Between two layers, first hexagonal layer, second hexagonal layer. So the forces are very weak van der Waals forces. So one layer slipped over another layer. So it means due to this nature, it is used as a lubricant for high temperature machines. It means the machine running at high temperature, in that graphite used as lubricant to decrease the friction. Right? These are all points. Graphite is reactive when compared with the diamond. Because of this weak van der Waals forces, it is little reactive when compared with the diamond. Graphite is the most stable form of a carbon, nothing but thermodynamically the most stable allotrope of carbon is thermodynamically. Carbon is graphite, because during the formation of graphite, less amount of energy will be released out. Due to that reason, the most stable carbon, the most thermodynamically stable carbon allotrope is graphite. That's why we are using graphite in laboratory to do reactions of a carbon always. We should not use diamond because it is very costly. So bond angle will be 120, each and every carbon surrounded by only 3 carbon atoms, but in diamond 4, but in graphite 1 carbon surrounded by 3 other carbon atoms in 120 degrees manner. That's why diamond is hard, graphite is soft. So graphite is little reactive. It can react with oxidizing and reducing agents and all other compounds. Graphite is used in lead pencils, used as a moderator, used to prepare electrodes, inert electrodes, used to prepare many materials in our industry. So wide range of applications are there for graphite. Reverse point simply. Diamond sp3, graphite sp3. Diamond, each carbon surrounded by 4 other carbons. Graphite, each carbon surrounded by 3 carbon atoms. Diamond is hard, graphite is soft. Diamond is non-conductor, graphite is good conductor. Graphite is lubricant, diamond used as hard material to cut any other hard material. So these are the comparative points we have to write now. So these are also theoretical points. I'll write point by point, then you can enter that. Okay students, the second crystalline allotropic modification of carbon is graphite. As I told you, graphite is a 2-dimensional layered structure. Graphite is formed from silica sand treated with the carbon, then is silicon carbide named as carborundum. 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 Now, this silicon carbide at high temperature is graphite. It is a laboratory method to prepare a graphite. Next, 2-dimensional layered structure it is. Each carbon undergoes sp2 hybridization. 2s2, 2p2 is the carbon configuration. 1 electron jump from s to p, jumping, then you get 2s1, 2p3, you will get. Among them only 1 2s and 2 2p orbitals involved in hybridization as per the requirement, and this is unhybrid orbital. Unhybrid orbital. It means a pure orbital. So 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals, 3 bonds are formed. That's why each carbon surrounded by 3 bonds. The left electron in each carbon involved in conductivity delocalized from one place to another place. That's why graphite is a good conductor, because of availability of one unpaired electron which is present in unhybrid orbital. Graphite is soft and slippery because of weak van der Waals forces between the two layers. First layer hexagonal rings, second layer hexagonal rings, third layer hexagonal rings, fourth layer hexagonal rings. A layered structure. First, second, third, fourth, like that. So between layers, the space is 340 picometers. These forces are weak van der Waals forces. That's why those are weak means they can slip over another. So that's why slippery in nature, soft, and carbon-carbon bond length. Here every corner contains carbon. Carbon-carbon bond length equal to 141.5 picometers. Next, graphite used as a lubricant because of the softness. It is a greasy compound actually. Thermodynamically, the most stable allotropic modification is graphite, thermodynamically, remember, because the enthalpy of formation will be very low when compared with the diamond. Next, density will be 2.5 gram per 1 cubic centimeter or 1 milliliter. Graphite is more reactive than diamond because in diamond each carbon surrounded by 4 other carbon atoms. In graphite, each carbon surrounded by only 3 other carbon atoms. Now, graphite can react with oxygen, give rise to carbon dioxide. With the oxidizing agents, then give rise to graphitic acid. And graphite can treat with KMnO4, then give rise to mellitic acid. And this is called oxalic acid. So, students, these are the points regarding the graphite. You need to remember soft, lubricant, sp2 hybridization, two-dimensional layer structure, good conductor of heat and electricity, and thermodynamically more stable. These are the points important. sp2 hybridization. That's it. The third form of crystalline allotropic modification of carbon is fullerenes. Fullerenes are the pure forms of carbon. So, C60 to C350 carbon atoms are possible in fullerenes. So these structures are just like which one? Football structure or soccer ball structure. So there are 60 vertices, it means 60 corners like. So on each vertex, on each corner there is a presence of carbon. On that structure there are 5-membered rings as well as 6-membered rings. So 5-membered rings can fuse with the 6-membered, 6-membered can fuse with the other 6-membered or 5-membered rings. I will give you the fusing structure. Each and every carbon in fullerenes undergoes same like graphite, sp2 hybridization. The one electron left involved in a pi bond formation. Those pi electrons can shift from one place to another place. This is called delocalization. Delocalization is there, obviously. Aromaticity also possible. Fullerenes are aromatic in nature, planar compounds due to the delocalization of pi bonds, which is formed by the pure or unhybrid orbitals. Very, very important. So, 5-membered rings as well as 6-membered rings are possible. Fullerenes are the pure forms of which one? Allotropic modifications. So this is about fullerenes. We'll write a few points regarding the fullerenes one by one. Okay students, the third crystalline allotrope of carbon is fullerenes. As I told you the points, same points I have written here. Fullerenes are prepared by graphite by passing electricity in presence of inert atmosphere. That's why I am taking noble gases. So blank gives C60 and C70. So you will get a sooty flame. The flame with black color fumes called sooty flame contains C60 as well as C70. Fullerenes are pure forms of which one? Carbon, because they have pure forms of carbon is fullerene, because they have smooth structure without any loose bonds. C60 molecule has a soccer ball structure named as Buckminster fullerene. Next, each and every carbon undergoes sp2 hybridization, then forms 3 sigma bonds, and one is unhybrid orbital. It is involved in a pi bond formation. Those pi electrons are delocalized from one place to another place. that gives aromatic character. Very, very important. Fullerenes are a cage-like gained molecule big structure. C60 contains 26 member rings and 12 5-member rings. So 6-member ring can fuse with other 6-member ring and 5-member ring, both rings. But 5-member ring only fused with 5-member ring only fused with 6-member ring. So carbon-carbon single bond length will be 143.5, double bond length will be 138.3. Because of which one? This electron, there is a formation of which bond? Double bond, that is a pi bond. Chemically, fullerenes are called buckyballs. Enthalpy of formation of fullerene is equal to 38.1. During the formation of fullerene, the amount of energy released is equal to 38.1 kilojoule per mole. Then diamond and graphite are insoluble, very, very important, insoluble, all solvents, whatever the solvent. But fullerenes are soluble, non-polar solvents like toluene and NHC. Solid phase, generally they are in black color. Liquid phase, so the migration of electrons is more, that's why they can show variable colors in liquid phase. So this is about crystalline allotropic modifications of carbon, diamond, graphite, fullerenes. Comparatively, we need to study these three, very, very important. After that, oxides of carbon. Carbon can show two oxides, one is monoxide, another one is dioxide. Monoxide means CO, dioxide means CO2. First one is a carbon monoxide. How to prepare carbon monoxide? Carbon plus oxygen gives rise to 2C plus O2 gives rise to 2CO. And by other methods also we can prepare carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas. If you breathe it, obviously it combines with our hemoglobin, then forms a carboxyhemoglobin. Clear? So that leads to death also, as you know that. So carbon monoxide is a neutral oxide with 3 bonds between carbon and oxygen. It undergoes sp2 hybridization. So these are all points we need to study one by one. All are easy theoretical points. That's all I write one by one points now. Okay students, so next topic is components of carbon. So first one is carbon monoxide, second one is carbon dioxide. As I told you, I have written points as it is. Carbon monoxide, prepared from carbon and oxygen in a limited amount, carbon monoxide. Formic acid HCOOH converted into CO plus H2O. HHO, H2O gone, which is an dehydrating agent, removal of H2O. Carbon, this is on small scale preparation in the laboratory, large scale or commercial scale preparation in the industry. Carbon and H2O give rise to CO plus H2. We have studied this water gas in hydrogen and its compounds. So this mixture is called water gas. With nitrogen and oxygen, then gives carbon monoxide and nitrogen mixture, that is called producer gas. These two, water gas and producer gas, nothing but used as fuels in the industry, especially. Industrial fuels are producer gas as well as water gas. CO is a colorless, odorless, insoluble gas in water. Then it is acting as a powerful reducing agent. It reduces iron oxide into iron, zinc oxide into zinc. So reducing agent means itself involved in oxidation, acting as a reducing agent. Remember, CO gains one oxygen. Gaining of oxygen is called, addition of oxygen is called oxidation. Itself involved in oxidation, acting as a reducing agent. Clear? Then structure point, carbon, oxygen. Carbon has totally 4 valence electrons. Oxygen 6 because 16th group. Carbon 4, 14th group. 6 means 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6. I have mentioned dots for oxygen crosses with the carbon. And now the structure will be simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The number belongs to oxygen. So carbon, this cross and this cross involved in bonding with the oxygen electrons. And these two electrons belong to oxygen only. Yes, it is oxygen. And already a lone pair left, here lone pair left. There is one lone pair of carbon. That's why this lone pair can easily donate to any metals having empty d orbitals like nickel, copper, whatever. Then forms metal carbonyls like this. Carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas. If you breathe it, obviously it combines with hemoglobin, then forms carboxyhemoglobin instead of oxyhemoglobin. Why poisonous means? It is more stable, 300 times stable than that of oxyhemoglobin. Obviously, in our blood, oxygen content will be decreased. That leads to death also. This is about carbon monoxide. The second oxide is carbon dioxide. You know that already. C plus O2 gives rise to CO2. CH4 plus 2O2 gives rise to CO2 plus 2H2O. CaCO3 gives rise to CaO plus CO2. Like that, many preparations we can. CO2 is actually released in atmosphere that causes greenhouse effect, greenhouse gas it is. Solid ice is called, which one? Solid CO2 is named as dry ice, which is used as a refrigerant in ice cream industry. Solid CO2 used as a refrigerant called dry ice, used in ice cream industry. And similarly, CO2 also acting as a reducing agent. Many points are there regarding CO2. Next, due to the heavy nature of CO2, CO2 used as a fire extinguisher. To stop the fire, we are using CO2 called fire extinguisher. The structure of CO2 will be linear, hybridization will be sp. We will write all these points one by one now. Okay students, the next compound of carbon is carbon dioxide. Preparation: carbon graphite plus O2 gives rise to carbon dioxide. Methane on complete combustion gives CO2. In the laboratory, it means to prepare in small scale, calcium carbonate treated with hydrochloric acid and gives rise to CO2. On large scale or commercial scale industries, calcium carbonate on decomposition gives CO2. It is a colorless, odorless gas. It is a weak dibasic acid because on reaction with water then forms a weak acid which contains 2 protons. That's why called dibasic acid. H2CO3 and HCO3 minus. Weak acid and it's salt with a strong base, acting as a buffer solution which is used to maintain the blood pH between 7.26 to 7.4. The use of buffer is to maintain the pH of our blood constantly. That is the use. It means the buffer pH never changed even by the addition of acid or by the addition of base. So next, so in photosynthesis, you know the reaction in the presence of chlorophyll, and it is not poisonous. If the concentration of CO2 increases in atmosphere, the effect generated is called greenhouse effect. It is called greenhouse gas. Solid CO2 is called as a dry ice, which is used for refrigerant in ice creams and which one that is frozen food. Next, soft drinks. Soft drinks means they take the water content and they will add the CO2 under high pressure, then forms H2CO3, carbonated water called a soft drink, because CO3 minus 2 is there carbonated, that's why carbonated water. Used as a fire extinguisher, you know that already, because it is heavy and non-supporter of combustion. It means fire catching capacity. So that's why it is used as a fire extinguisher to stop the fire. CO2 used in the manufacture of urea, NH3 plus CO2 gives rise to NH2, CO, NH2. We know that already. So oxygen, carbon, oxygen. Structure I am telling. Carbon has 4 valence electrons because 14th group element. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons because 16th group elements. 16th group element. And these two electrons involved in bonding that gives double bond. And these two pairs also involved a double. The structure is just like linear, and this carbon atom undergoes sp hybridization. There are 2 sigma bonds and 2 pi bonds. In each and every double bond, 1 sigma and 1 pi. That's why 2 sigma and 2 pi bonds totally available. The carbon and oxygen bond length will be 115 picometers. This is about the carbon and their allotropes and carbon and their compounds. In our next video, we will discuss about silicon and its compounds, that is silica and silicates.